Over the past few years, Vikings have become extremely popular due to countless video game series and television shows which highlight their exploits. The exploits of the Danes have surely echoed across eternity. Who are the people who led the Vikings to such celebrities? Join us in this Liber-Tea episode as we dive into the lives of famous Viking leaders. The Viking Age fundamentally affected all cultures that the Danes interacted with. The Norsemen usually attacked without warning, and at the beginning of the conquest, they normally fled with their booty and slaves on board their dragon-headed longships. However, as the people they attacked became more attentive, it became apparent that the Vikings could no longer engage in raids. As such, in time, they began to settle down in the places they raided. Notwithstanding the purpose of an attack, highly skilled warriors organized every campaign. These great warriors are the leaders we discover during the Viking Age. There are Viking leaders from this period who stand out for the principles their actions embody or their impact on the advancement of the Viking agenda during this period. Although there were many illustrious Viking leaders during this period, the following are the most outstanding. The epic of the saga of Ragnar Lothbrok depicts the life of the legendary king Ragnar Lothbrok and other Viking chiefs. While he is cited in many scholarly works, the authors concede that Ragnar may be a fictional character modeled against the famous chief Ragnar. In the epic, Ragnar attempted to conquer Britain with 2 ships and even fought dragons. In the epic, his psychic wife, Queen Aslog, warns him against attempting to conquer Britain with 2 ships. Ragnar did not heed his wife's warnings. The king of Northumbria, Aela, captured and threw him in the pit of vipers. The historical Ragnar was present during the attack on Paris in 845 CE, where King Charles the Bald paid him to spare the city. This act sent an expensive precedent for future West Francia kings. Rollo was the first Count of Normandy, following the Treaty of St. Clair, Sur Epte in 911 CE. Before his appointment by King Charles, the Simple of West Francia, Rollo was a renowned Viking warlord who terrorized the region. Historians believe that Rollo was present during the attack on Paris in 885 to 886 AD, where Count Odo of West Francia defended the city. The attacks on the city only ended when King Charles the Fat paid Rollo and his compatriots to leave. Rollo continued to conduct raids in the region until he was appointed the Count of Normandy. Rollo satisfied the requirements of the Treaty of St. Clair sur Egypt and established himself as a competent leader and defender of Paris. At this point, Rollo had converted to Christianity. As such, he restored abbeys and churches in Normandy. He revised the laws and fought for the king of West Francia against internal and external enemies. Apart from his achievements, Count Rollo is William the Conqueror's great-great-great-grandfather. Allegedly, Ivar was the son of the legendary Ragnar Lothbrok. Ivar is the best known for the Gesta Danorum, Deeds of the Danes, by Saxo Grammaticus, and the tale of Ragnar's sons. Historians also claim that he was one of the leaders of the great heathen army, which the Anglo-Saxon Chronicle calls Hingwar. Historians debate whether Ivar the Boneless existed as the sagas describe him. In the tales of Ragnar's son, Ivar the Boneless, his brothers Ubba, Bjorn Ironside, and Halfdan go to England to avenge the death of their father, Ragnar Lothbrok. After founding York, Ivar and his brothers kill King Eoya through the mysterious and horrific torture known as the Blood Eagle. Through the sagas, Ivar epitomizes Viking cunning and ruthlessness. Thorvaldsson Erik is popularly known as Erik the Red. He may have been called this due to his fiery temper or his red hair. Nevertheless, he was an Icelandic explorer who established settlements in Greenland. In Erik the Red's saga and the saga of the Greenlanders, he was banished from Iceland for murder. Surprisingly, His father, Thorvaldsen Asfoldsson, was also banished from Norway for a similar crime. This caused him to relocate to Iceland with his family. Growing up, Eric constantly heard of land in the west, where Viking sailors had attempted to establish communities. During his 3-year exile, Eric sailed to the place and explored it thoroughly. Upon his return, he told fantastic stories of a wonderful place, which he called Greenland, to prevail over more colonists to join him. The two sagas relate to how Eric pitched the Greenland name to fellow Icelanders, hoping to entice settlers. His pitch was successful. He returned to Greenland with colonists in over 14 ships. The half-sister of Leif Erikson, Freydis Eiriksdottir, was an outstanding Viking leader whose name appears prominently in Eric the Red's saga. However, her reputation is contested by different accounts regarding her conduct in the New World. In the first account, found in Eric the Red's saga, she is presented as a woman of valor who was left alone by men who retreated in the face of the enemy. Freydis can repulse native Indians with just a sword. According to the saga of the Greenlanders, Freydis is painted as a conniving woman who often planned the murders of her business partners by having her husband and his troops kill them. Additionally, if her husband and his men tried to spare the partners' wives, she would kill them with an axe. The image depicted in Eric the Red saga did not display the ideal Christian woman during the Middle Ages. History shows us that strong-willed women did not fit in the Christian narrative. An interrogation of history shows that women like Joan of Arc and Twendrith of Mercia received the wrath of the Church due to their strong-willed nature. Thank you for listening to this episode. We hope you have enjoyed and learned something new. Like, share, and subscribe to Liber-Tea for more.